Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here not for the opening day of SEMA, but actually the day before, the move-in day. So please excuse the commotion going on behind us, but like they say, the show must go on. And what do I have for you? One of the baddest trucks I've seen in a long time. It's this truck right here. This is a 2025 Nissan Frontier, but guess what? This is not like any other Frontier you've seen. This is a special Tarmac Edition. But before we get into this supercharged high horsepower truck, let's talk about what's going on here. The Frontier, that really has been that bread and butter truck in their lineup for so many years, and for so many years it went unchanged. Nice to see on the current generation, a lot of changes happening, and then to see here at SEMA what is possible when you have some imagination and the thirst for extra performance. Now, believe it or not, Nissan's very own factory drift driver, Chris Forsberg, is the mastermind behind this Frontier Tarmac. And he's the one that really came up with the concept. And he also noticed how street trucks are slowly making a comeback. You have the Ford Maverick Lobo coming. Last year when we were here at SEMA, Toyota had that special Tacoma street truck. I personally love street trucks, and growing up in the 80s and 90s, trucks like the GMC Cyclone, boy oh boy, make my heart pitter patter. But why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this Frontier and find out, is it the king of all performance trucks? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the look. It just screams aggressive and that it means the business. Now at the front end, what you're gonna notice is stock Frontier headlights. So you have your LED daytime running lamp, LED headlights. Working our way down, this is your stock front bumper on a Frontier with your LED fog lamps. Now where the big separation is with our full carbon fiber flared fenders. So what you're gonna notice is that all four corners, you have 315 on the width of these meaty tires, all four corners. And you're gonna need it because wait until I show you what's underneath the hood. Love the way they worked in the functional aero to guide that air down the side. And then you'll also notice our splitter to help give us that downforce. But man, oh man, if they could somehow replicate this at the factory, maybe not carbon fiber, but definitely this flared fender street truck look, sign me up. Give me a piece of paper, I'd sign it right now. Now, as we come across the front grille, we see a little bit more stock Frontier. You got your Nissan badge, that new upper grille portion. Yes, it's not functional, but it's meant to kind of tie in the tradition of those street trucks from the past, the Nissan hard body trucks from the 90s. You have your fully functional stock grille, just like the Frontier that you might have in your driveway. And then even the midsection and lower portion is all stock Frontier. Where the difference is on the massive carbon fiber splitter. We have the Tarmac name. That's the name that Chris Forsberg came up with. And one thing I want you to kind of chew on like a piece of beef jerky. Last year at SEMA, there was an off-road version of the Frontier that Chris Forsberg came up with. And guess what? They actually have the availability for you to buy it at your dealership. So is it maybe someday possible? Chew on that for a little bit. On the bottom portion, you still have those lava orange recovery tow hooks on both sides. You do need those for when you're at the track in case something happens. But the fact that they had to use these, this many when it comes to how that splitter is rock solid. This thing isn't just like screwed into the plastic. It's actually rock solid to take that force from the air. Now, as we rise up, full carbon fiber hood. I love the way that they painted the upper portion of that hood bulge, and then you have a functional hood scoop with the wire mesh. And I think that's one of the other things I like about this design is that the truck that we brought you, the Frontier, the updated 2025 Frontier, they took some of those colors and brought it into this Tarmac Special Edition. Now, as we come around the bend, all of that beautiful carbon fiber. Working our way down, we have actually NISMO branded wheels. So Nissan Motorsports wheels, two-piece wheel. That's what all of these bolts are for. And the reason why a two-piece wheel, which Steven, you might want to stick around a little bit, the reason why a two-piece wheel is important is because it's actually lighter. When you put the wheel together like this, it's actually very light. So not only is it forged, but it's two-piece. I love the copper bronze finish. You'll notice that we have brake calipers, 6-piston brake calipers, and carbon fiber. So this is not only forged, but then a carbon fiber wheel, two-piece, all put together. You have nice large rotors, slotted and two-piece rotors as well. Cuts down on heat buildup, cuts down on rotating mass. And then I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing around and showcase with the lighting, if he can, just some of the suspension. You got that steel box frame. We have coilovers, adjustable coilovers. Obviously the truck has been dropped. And when we're talking about these Yokohama tires, this is a 20-inch wheel up front, 275 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and this truck, I tell you, I want to go on throttle on this thing just by looking at this wheel and tire setup. Now, as we rise up, they took a little bit of orange paint. Love the way they worked that with the carbon fiber from the side of the truck. It's all about the smaller mid-size truck, not the full-size truck. Full-size trucks are great. There's just something about a killer mid-size truck. Carbon fiber on the mirror cap, and then wait until you see this. Up top, you actually have a full carbon fiber roof. Think about how much weight we're shedding by having these bits and pieces all carbon fiber. Color matched on the door handles, the Tarmac name, and that carbon fiber side skirt extension. Working our way towards the rear, love that nice bulge. And then check out the wheel and tire setup back here. So you're still gonna have those slotted two-piece rotors, and you still have a 20-inch wheel, but like I said, tires are 315 on the width. That's the same width as the rear tires on my Shelby GT350R. And that's on a mid-size pickup truck. Mind-blowing. But I just love the style. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the NISMO wheels. Now, as we rise up, you have this beautiful carbon fiber tonneau cover. Steven's gonna swing it around a little bit and show you that nice rear flared fender. Love the way the arrow comes into the back portion, all carbon fiber. And then from dead center, as we work our way down, here's some more of that stock piece. So you have a stock tailgate with your Nissan badge, like the way Chris did the Tarmac badge. And then working our way down, this is where you're gonna see that stock lower bumper area. And this actually has, believe it or not, a NISMO catback exhaust with 5-inch tips. Kind of crazy on this truck. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Frontier Tarmac. All right, guys, that moment of truth, that picture, that image you've been waiting for. We have the hood popped on this very special Frontier, and check out just exactly what you see. You're looking at a Supercharged V6. So right off the bat, it's a 3.8 liter Supercharged V6, putting out 440 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. So when we think about Chris Forsberg and what he utilizes day in and day out with his drift vehicles, having it brought up to this level. I mean, look at the special NISMO airbox, custom airbox, full carbon fiber. You got the window in there so you can see your cone race filter. Remember, NISMO stands for Nissan Motorsports. All carbon fiber to that supercharger, and that's really where it gets all of that great horsepower and performance. But it's one of those things that when it comes to a street truck, having that extra oomph really makes it that much more special. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and see what this truck has. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Nissan Frontier Tarmac Edition. So like I said, it's move-in day, so you might hear some sounds and stuff. They're actually testing speakers right now out of all the times. But like I said, the show must go on. Now, of course, I don't have any official pricing for this, but it just showcases that Chris Forsberg is not just one hell of a drifter, not only one hell of a driver, which remember, he took a Frontier off-road edition and actually won some off-road races with it, but he also has some great creativity and really wants performance. But let's find out what else this Frontier brings, especially after seeing that supercharged V6 underneath the hood, to the door panels. Guess what? Stock Frontier door panels. I guess that's one of the things that I appreciate about this truck is that it has a lot of stock parts. Stock armrest, nice and soft, some of that orange trim, and then that door pocket is large enough you could easily get 4 Costco hot dogs in there because that's all you're going to be able to afford after you build this truck. Now going from the door panel to the dash, the stitching right on needle point, you slide on in, you got your 9-inch infotainment system, air conditioning, USB-C, USB-A, and I guess the gorilla in the room is this. You actually have a fully functional drift stick. So this will allow you to, instead of having a mechanical e-brake, you're able to drift by pulling back on this very easily, and you have your shifter for your 9-speed automatic transmission. Carbon fiber custom plate for where the drift stick is. You got a place to put 4 Twinkies, drift Twinkies of course. Soft material, the stitching. Open this up, you got a 12 volt, and you got enough room in there. I would say you could put probably about $25,000 in chips from Caesar's Palace. Steven was playing blackjack the other night and he won it big. He could put all those winnings in there. And then this is my favorite part, the Recaros. Love the one-piece back. The throwback, that throwback design, of course, fully manual adjustment, but the bolstering is fantastic. All the orange accents just simply work so well, especially when you think about, like I said, that performance street truck really coming into play in the 80s and 90s. They were on fire. And then, of course, for an additional 5 horsepower, we have our crossing guard orange seatbelts. High performance, baby. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the carbon fiber wheel in this carbon fiber Frontier. All right, guys, here we are behind the wheel of Chris Forsberg's Tarmac Edition Frontier. Love the carbon fiber steering wheel. Look at that, beautiful with the orange top dead center, the Alcantara. I love that it's a stock shape wheel with the carbon fiber. Of course, it is a fully tilting steering wheel, which is great. And you do have your gauges behind there, analog tach and speedometer. Hopefully Steven could show some of that off a little bit there. There you go. And of course, these Recaros. I mean, I feel like I am snug as a bug in a race car rug. That's how this, oh, they feel good. They look good. I hope Recaro makes these, like a lot of them, because I'd be willing to put them in a nice built vehicle. Maybe that's something I should do. Do a vehicle build. What do you think? Put that in the comment section. But let's get in the back seat and see how this Frontier finishes off. All right, guys, back seat time. You know, it is cramped back here. It's not a ton of room, but I do like the way you have the usable rear seat. What would have liked to have seen is the design. Maybe not Recaros in the back seat, but the design of those classic Recaros in the back seat. Everybody gets their crossing guard, safety guard, orange seatbelt, extra 5 horsepower. Look at the one-piece backs. These almost look like they would be factory, especially with this lever to move the seat forward. Could this be a new factory seat? Maybe in a Z. You do have a USB-C, USB-A. And then, like I said, not a lot of room, but at least there's room back here. And you have just enough armrest for your arm and 2 large cup holders. Now, I know you want to freaking go for a drive in this. Trust me, so do I. But we're not there yet. We need to wrap it up here from SEMA before we get kicked out. So let's get to it. All right, guys, another great day here in Las Vegas for the 2024 edition of the SEMA show. Definitely got to thank the whole Nissan USA team and Chris Forsberg for allowing us private time with his special Frontier Tarmac Edition. Let me know what you think. If you're thinking street performance trucks, is this the king? I have to say it's pretty badass. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Gotta get up to Stephen Flood. He's working that camera like a champ, and he wants to kill the guy right now that's testing the mic and the speaker system here. So we'll go ahead and get that done for you, Stephen. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.